Hello everyone and welcome to my winter 2021-22 forecast. This is my first ever seasonal forecast, so this is going to be a laugh. It's going to be hilarious to see how this works out, but welcome to a winter 2021-22 forecast. I've never done any of these before. So this is going to be really interesting. This is the first time I'm doing it, and what a winter to be doing it in. What an interesting winter we've got ahead. A very interesting one coming up ahead. Yeah, we're going to go through the forecast in a minute. We'll bring some history of when the last cold and mild winters were, and yeah, we'll do that as well. This is going to be an interesting video because I've never don't know how this is going to go. I've done the slideshow, and we'll take you through the slideshow of my thoughts. We'll take you through some thought processes of the winter, and then I'll give you my actual conclusion for every month as well. So that's going to be exciting. So yeah, hello everyone and welcome to this video. I just said that at the start. I don't know why I said it again, but yeah, I've never really done much in the way of presenting weather videos before, so this is like completely new to me really. So yeah, I'm just going to go through this because I've not got much to talk about to start with, but yeah, it has been I've like sort of done this slideshow for the last couple of hours trying to like figure out how I'm going to put it together, you know. It's like I've been thinking for the last week, how am I going to present this? And I thought this is the best way to do it for a slideshow. So yeah, we'll do this to start with. It's going to be an interesting video. Yeah. And if you're a cold weather lover, are we finally going to get the winter that you want? Are we finally going to get the winter that you want? I know a lot of people are hoping for it this year. I know a lot of people aren't with the energy bills and stuff, but yeah. The weather's going to do what it's going to do anyway, so we can't, whatever we hope for, it's going to be the same anyway. So yeah, okay, we're going to get on with this. So this is my winter 2021 forecast, 2021-22 forecast, and yes, we're going to start it now. And let's start off with cracking start. Let's start off with when was our last cold winter. So when was our last cold winter? 2020-21 last year was our coldest winter in the UK since 2012-13 actually, and but only slightly below average. It was only 0.2 below average overall as a mean UK temperature, and 2012-13 was the exact same, so it was very similar to that. Although 2012-13 had a lot more potent cold snaps in that year, especially for the south, especially in March actually, even though that's not even in the winter. You could probably say the winter overall last year, 2020-21, was probably more potent in the winter, but the spring was definitely more potent in 2012-13, especially in March, when the CT was only 2.9 that month. 2010-2011 was our last severely cold winter, particularly in December. It was like mild for most of the rest of the winter, apart from in Scotland, where in February it kind of went back to a little bit snowy again, cold again. But overall, that year was 1.3 degrees below average, and our long, extended winter, our long-lasting winter, was 2009-10. I think that was our coldest winter since 1976. I think possibly. And yeah, it was snowy for all the 3 months, and that is 1.6 degrees below average. So yeah, very cold that month. As for white Christmases, last in the UK, there was one in 2010 for certain places. It wasn't as widespread as 2009 though, 2004 and 1995. The thing I didn't like about 2010 though is the snow went away after Christmas Day and it didn't come back. I'm hoping for something a little bit more different this year. But yeah, 2009 was the opposite. It was just starting in 2009 actually. 2004 was White Christmas. 1995 was very, very, very wintry. There was a blizzard on Christmas Eve, I believe. I think actually, funnily enough, that was the last time we had gales above 80 miles per hour from a northerly direction, interestingly enough. Obviously, the last couple of days we did have another one of those, our first one. But yeah. When was our last mild winter then? So we want to keep it as fair as possible. I don't want to be accused of cold or whatever, being a cold weather lover, which I am. I am a cold weather lover. I can't really say I am, but I am. But yeah, 2019-20 was our last PV of doom. It was otherwise known as the polar vortex of doom, because the polar vortex just kept breaking through every month from the Atlantic. Ooh, a great winter that was. Was our last mild winter. And 2019-20 itself had mild and wet anomalies, very mild wet anomalies through the whole of the winter, 1.5 degrees above average, very mild actually. and very little snow for many areas in the UK. I think actually, funny enough, the last couple of days in the end of November, we've had more snow in the last couple of days here than we did in the whole of the winter in 2019-20. I'm not joking. And almost all winters since 2011-12 have been above average, except two of them. 2012-13 was 0.4 below average. Sorry, I think I said 0.2 below average earlier. It's actually 0.4 below average. And last year had 0.2 below average. But nothing excessive, you know, like 0.4 is not anything to be like getting really excited about. It was a cold winter. I think if March was like if it was like what March was in February in 2013. I think that would probably be something like 1 or 1.2 below average, something like that. But yeah, last year had quite a potent cold, like a fairly long cold, for Scotland especially, in January, and then the beast from the east too, if you like, in middle of February time. But yeah, that was yeah, there's 0.4 and 0.2 below average and nothing excessive. And our last exceptionally mild Christmas, I'm sure a lot of people remember this and would rather forget about it, was December 2015, where 14 to 16 degrees maximum temperature reached throughout the whole of the UK. I think in Scotland it got to 14 here. Wow. I don't want that again. It probably will happen again at some point, but hopefully not for another decade at least. I think a cold one will probably happen before that. I shouldn't say that because that's actually not part of the forecast. But yeah. Okay, we're going to move on to December thoughts now. We're actually on the actual sort of thought process bit of the forecast now. We will give you the conclusion after I've revealed some thoughts. So December 2021. Let's start. This is quite short range, so this is obviously going to be the easiest to predict. And there is hints on the model output with a Scandinavian high becoming evolved next week. And it does look like a lot of the models are turning it into the east. Some of them are like really going cold, like -10 getting into parts of the UK next week. But whether it comes off is still unknown, but they are given the idea. It's really interesting. Some really good start to the winter so far. GFS wants to raise heights as of the 29th of November. GFS wants to raise heights, but other models such as ECMGM still not convincingly doing so yet. Anyway, it might be different by the time this forecast goes out. Mild weather is not looking dominant this month. Cold weather lovers are screaming with excitement, but only brief lasting spells. I think we've got one coming up on Tuesday when this forecast goes out, but then after that I think it's looking fairly cold for the next couple of weeks at least. Who knows, it might have changed by then. But yeah, mild weather is not looking dominant at all, like not even in the slightest this month. Only brief lasting spells, to me anyway. Ideas like cold run up to Christmas and New Year still there. They've been there since like the beginning of like October or something, and they're still going on. And regular cold snaps are hinted throughout this month. We're already having one tomorrow, and we're probably having another one next week. It depends how cold it gets. I think it will get quite cold next week, but it really depends how cold it does get. Who knows? And a Canadian warming as well is something we need to keep an eye on, because that's something that is going to be big impacts down the line in January and February. But will that happen? Who knows? For a Canadian warming, I'm not sure about that. I don't think it will happen, but that's just my opinion. It could happen. Who knows? We'll see. And December 2021 conclusion. So this is my December 2021 forecast. So, are you ready for this? I'm predicting a colder than average month overall. And I think it will be the coldest month since February 2018 when the CT was 2.9. More cold than that though, I'm thinking, however. And 2.9 is like a CT at 2.9 or below will be quite snowy at times as well. And I think it will be our coldest December since 2010. So that's like a key one from this. Coldest December since 2010. Just remember that. That's really, I think that's like the key point in this. If there's something simple about this month that I'm thinking, it's that. And I don't think though it'll be anything like December 2010. Much less severe, but severe spells are not out of the question. I think there's like a 40 to 50% chance there'll be quite a bit of severe weather this month, in my opinion anyway. And I do think, though, a dry month with lots of frost, fog, and ice is likely. But however, at times Scotland, especially, will get snow potential this month. Certain areas still got a good chance, though. And like I say, it is going to be our coldest December since 2010, possibly, in my opinion. And coldest month since February 2018, when we had beasts from the east. So yeah. Okay, it's the most wonderful time of the year, and White Christmas 2021. Is it going to happen? Probably the best chance we have since 2010, in my opinion, and models not showing much signs of it now, which they don't really usually do, to be honest, at this point. But La Nina could help us with, obviously, La Nina helps to get cold earlier in the winter, and but I'm gonna say no to this one. A white Christmas, not to a widespread one. Locally, definitely possible. Kind of like 2017. Like there was quite a few local snowy spells in 2017. There was a few snowy spells last winter as well. Like, but it was very local. It was not like widespread or anything like 2009 or 10. But I guess yes last year to this, and look how that turned out. There wasn't that much snow around on Christmas Day. There was snow around after it, but yeah, not on Christmas Day. Alright, January 2021. This is where it gets interesting for me. So, lots of thoughts from me are saying that this could be the coldest month of the winter. And New Year could start off coldest since 2010, so we could have a very cold start to 2022. 2011 started off 2010 started off extremely, really cold actually, and it could be. This is a key point again. Coldest January since 1976 is possible. Could that happen? Maybe. A sub-zero CET is unlikely though. I think it will be above it, but not impossible. I think it will still be very snowy and possibly really severe as well. And sudden stratospheric warming, I'm going to predict with yes at this point. I don't know if it'll be in December or January, but I think it will happen at some point. More likely in January, because obviously SSWs don't happen that often in December. So this is my forecast for January 2021 then. This is what I'm thinking is going to happen in January 2021. I'm predicting a very cold month, potentially severe with lots of snow. And blocking over Scandinavia from December will continue to bring easterlies in January, more potent than December. Northerly winds at times too create ice drifts. Obviously easterlies do as well. I don't know why I wrote that, but northerly winds will create ice drifts, particularly in areas where snow isn't in the ground, like the south coast. Could be I'm joking. Could be the year the south gets loads of snow though. I think this could be a really good chance with the south. Although Scotland and northern areas will still be really good with snow as well. February 20. So January though, look at that. That is what I'm predicting for January. If this comes off, I think this is going to be really exciting. This is just like me predicting stuff now though, but because this is like just a bit of fun really. It's not like you know, like the Met Office is prediction. Like I don't have to take it that seriously. February 2020, but that's a really exciting. Imagine that came off in January though. That would be so exciting. Now February 2021 does see a change though. I think. Although this month's outcome will be down to if we get an SSW or Canadian warming in December or January, I think the effects, if any of them happen, will be in February. Maybe even into March as well. And I think a flip will be possible to mild this month after only having brief mild spells in December and maybe none in January, maybe one or two though. Beast from the East perhaps, another one. But would this be like number 7 up to this point? And 2010 thing where the very cold returns after a break from mild. Like, we think it's gone and then it comes back again in February. Maybe? And mild might be the main factor this month though. So this is my conclusion for this. It's going to be, the conclusions are always like very, very, very severe. I think I'm maybe going a bit overkill with this, but maybe not though. Maybe not. So overall, I think a mild flip could happen early this month. So first week of February, I think a mild flip would happen after a very cold January. And if an SSW happens, a beast from the east, late month, like 2018, into March, I'm going to go with yes to this. And overall, this month is looking mild and sometimes stormy too. However, it could be the wettest February on record, even more so than 2020. I think the Atlantic will be so, at this point, will be so like just ready to break through that maybe we'll just get like a really wet February. Who knows? But maybe it's completely collapsed at this point. I don't know. But that's just a guess for me. Out of the whole forecast, that's probably the most overreactive one of the lot, even more so than the very cold January, weirdly enough. But yeah, that's it. Thank you everybody for watching. That was a very interesting forecast. If this comes off, I think a lot of cold weather lovers are going to be really happy with this forecast. But yeah, that is my 2021-22 forecast done and dusted. Hopefully get more than a dusting. But yeah. I hope you all have a good winter and a Merry Christmas, and I hope this forecast comes true for cold weather lovers. It won't be 100% right. I'm 100% certain this is not going to be 100% right. No chance in heck that's going to happen. Hopefully no chance. The 100% true isn't the Merry Miles February though. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. I am done. This took hours to get ready, this slideshow, but yeah, it's worth it because this is my first seasonal forecast. I wanted it to be good, so yeah. So that's us. I might do a spring forecast. I might do a review of this forecast. I might do like a mid-month and mid-January if I'm not without power because of the snow, like it says on that. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of the video. Please that like button if you haven't already. Anyway, keep it all the videos on my channel. Please subscribe, and we'll see you whenever the next video is. See you later.